Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Buff Breakdown. Now this will be a fairly short one. We just got the release of the arcade collab rerun on JP, and yeah, Draco is back by the way, so good luck for everyone summoning for her. Wasn't sure if they were going to buff anyone because, we already have a bunch of, busted servants from the event. I think Tiamat, Draco, and Locusta are all very great servants, or even top tier, but there was one other servant still that maybe wasn't top tier, but still a fairly good servant. And I mean, you can see him right there. The welfare of the event. We got the 4-star Saber Setanta, aka Cool Lily, if you will. So yeah, not a very talked about servant, at least compared to the other arcade collab servants, but it seems Lasagna at least remembers him because, he did get this buff. Now, this is a skill buff, so let's see what they did. Now, it's a buff to his second skill, and this was probably his weakest skill overall, well, depending on what you're fighting, I guess. So on a 5-turn cooldown, what did it used to do? So he got 100% power mod against wild beast enemies for 3 turns for himself. Pretty insane number though, of course, but then you realize that wild beast as a trait, maybe not the most common, especially for bosses, and he is a single target saber, so pretty limited with that use, I guess. And then the other effect was a 20% quick up on himself for 3 turns. That one at least is pretty good. It's on a good uptime. I wish the number was 30%. It is what it is. So this skill, assuming you don't hit that wild beast trait, which you wouldn't most of the time, is pretty weak, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, not surprised that they buffed this. Now, they didn't do anything like super crazy. Everything I just listed remains exactly the way it was. Same cooldown, same numbers for the 2 mods. I wish they upped the quick up a little bit again for 30. Maybe it would have been cool to see, but, it's still fine. But they did add one new line. So now, every time he attacks, for the next 5 attacks, 3 turns, he gets 10% battery for all of those attacks. And this can be any attack. It doesn't even have to be like a quick attack or anything like that. And when I say any attack, I mean any attack. It's not even limited to normal attacks either, like your face cards and extra attack. If I'm reading this correctly, which it should be like that, his MP also works with this. So his MP now gets a bonus 10% refund as well, if you think about it that way. So that's pretty cool. So that's all they did. Again, I'm not really going to sugarcoat it. It's not a big change, but it's a nice welcome addition, I want to say. Because again, this skill used to be pretty, whatever. So now you think of it kind of as you can get 50% gauge from this skill now. Because it's limited to 5 attacks or 3 turns, whichever happens first. Now, obviously, in 1 turn, you cannot get 50% because you can only use 4 of his cards at most, including the extra from the Brave Chain. So 40% per turn is the max from this, but still very cool. I like this. And obviously, even better when you remember that, yeah, he is a welfare, so that means, free MP5. Great. And for those that are wondering how he does on damage, looking at a sheet here, his damage is actually among some of the highest among single target sabers, believe it or not. Obviously, the highest number is accounting for his crazy 100% power mod, but even without it, on this row, we're just accounting for the, some defense down from his overcharge. We are looking at a very high number. Now, obviously, he is competing mostly against MP1 gold non-welfares, of course. So, take this how you will. So if you have like fat copies of, let's say, Narrow Bride, then she can probably just dust him. But you gotta keep in mind, again, he's a free servant, so pretty cool. So now him being able to spam his MP way more is obviously great. And this will help with his damage output for sure. Now, on my Saber tier list this year, I had him on a pretty solid A rank, but I think with this, he can probably be bumped up to A+. He may have already been possible to have placed there anyway, as is, even without this buff, but now I think I'm feeling pretty solid about this. I think overall, I still kind of like Iori more, because, he's just that freaking loaded with his, skills as well. But Setanta definitely can pull his own weight. That's for sure. So there you go. Now more arcade servants are even better. Yay. Alright, I'm just gonna keep it short and wrap up this video right there. So again, not just one buff, and just one line added to one skill, so not the craziest deal ever, but you know what, I always make these, of course, to keep you guys notified of buffs. So on that note, if you enjoyed this video, do be a solid and press that like button, okay? It really helps out. It lets me know you guys also want to see more of the content. Do subscribe for more to not miss out on future videos, including buff breakdowns. Again, good luck if you're summoning for any of the arcade collab servants, and otherwise, I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye!